Hello and welcome to the Hugh Hattrick Show, where we are just gone live, and hopefully this will be working on Instagram as well. There we go. I think it's working now. There we are. Yes, we are live on Instagram as well, on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. So it's lovely to see you all. Welcome to the Hugh Hattrick Show with my long-time special guest for 5 years. It is now, isn't it? Just about.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it just been
over 5 years. It's
Welcome
over
along,
5 years.
Roo. It's good to see you.
21st of August was the first time I was on your show 5 years ago.
That's pretty good going.
You put up with me for this long.
Exactly. Look at the wrinkles. Look at the wrinkles I've caused you as you've come on the show. Ian is in. Ian is watching. That's good to see you, Ian. I hope you're well. So we're live on the internet, out on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Instagram. But and it is, of course, our F1 and GT7 chat show. We thought we haven't done an interview this week, so it'd be good to catch up. As of course we have the US Grand Prix, that's starting on Saturday. We have the sprint race, which is going to be on about 7:00 on UK time, and then of course Sunday I think it's 8:00 for the Grand Prix officially, which should be fun. I've got my niece. Lauren. Lauren is watching. Good to see you, Lauren. I hope you're well. I'm sure you should be studying away. But
your knees.
Yeah, my niece. I appreciate you watching. This is Roo, and we're going to be talking about Formula One, or what we think we know about Formula One.
Hawkeye, the new Lauren.
So it's the US Grand Prix at Texas, which is a great track in Austin, very popular. And a lot of fun, and people seem to enjoy it. It's got that great elevation on the grid when they go up the hill and then turn into the left-hander and off they go. So what are you thinking, Roo? Are you looking forward to this week's race?
No.
No?
I mean, I actually like that track. I like the track. Yeah. I've enjoyed the races I used to watch when I could watch it without wanting to murder the people on the screen talking nonsense. The 15 hours, because now of course you can only get it live on Channel 4, not live, and it became more and more annoying. I just bring someone resurrect Murray Walker and destroy Liberty Media and that current idiot that's supposedly meant to be in charge. Oh, you're not allowed to swear. I'm from Saudi Arabia. All that kind of stuff. Isn't it funny how all the people that support all these causes and run around in private jets telling you not to go anywhere and stop breathing because of the carbon dioxide don't mention anything about Saudi Arabia, China, Qatar, all the places where all of these rights that they say that apparently we haven't got in the West, and the only reason they can say it is because they're from the West, don't exist. It's funny how that works, isn't it? And yet they can't show a single corner in one shot. You have to have.
Yes, that is the thing. But we're going to get onto that later because I found a way to beat that. I found a way to get F1 working properly and have better shots than you get on TV.
Oh, Ian says it's had a resurface, so that's going to make life interesting. Do you remember when they resurfaced? What track was it?
And it kept coming off, wasn't it? All the gutters kept coming.
Was it Turkey? That time they had to go to Turkey because they couldn't get the whole calendar, so they went back to Turkey, and it had a resurface.
Oh yes, yeah.
Cold, and they couldn't get any of the tyres to switch on, and it was like they were driving F1 cars on ice. It was the most ridiculous thing I've seen.
Yeah. Noel's in the chat. Noel, it's good to see you. And DTR is saying, I follow you on Instagram as well, which is fantastic. And anyone might, it's easy to find. My name is Hugh Hattrick, and I'm on Instagram. So it's, I'll put a quick message here. So yes, you are.
Yeah, 2020, and that's right. It was the whole pandemic thing because they'd cancelled. Some countries had cancelled the race, so they were trying to make up. So that's why they ended up going to. I nearly said Portofino, but that's not what I mean, is it? It's
that was in Portugal. I loved that track too, though. I thought that race was a brilliant track.
Very good
phenomenal.
And that was a good race.
Kimi Raikkonen's opening lap in that race was astounding. He made up about 12
it's carving past people.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Absolutely one of the best first laps I've seen in a long time. It was so good. I wish we would bring that track back. I think that would be far more interesting than Miami. That'd
We
be
need
a
to
much
clone Kimi Räikkönen, not the young Kimi Räikkönen. He was annoying in those days, and my wife liked him. We need to clone him when he was sort of like a bit older and went, no.
yeah.
How do you feel about that race, Kimi? Stupid question.
That was it.
God, we love Kimi. Isn't he great?
Yeah. So we've got 6 races to go. Now, who out of the two of us can remember exactly what they are?
Portimao. I know it had a port in it.
Yes.
So Noel's asking if Kimi Räikkönen is still racing in NASCAR. I don't know. Ian, is he? Ian will know.
Sure. Yeah, Ian is up to date.
We've got a special information centre in Norfolk, and it consists of 2 people, Ian and Simon. They are the staff there. So that's how it works. The answer is no, he isn't. So there you go. Thank you, Ian.
So, Roo, can you list the 6 races yet to come?
I've got. We can do this
without looking.
Okay, it's Texas, Austin,
yes.
Then Mexico.
Yes.
Then I want to say Brazil.
Yes.
Then I want to say, and I'm not looking, I'm looking up there. Then I want to say Las Vegas.
I think so, yep.
Then there's I've got some Qatar.
Yes.
And then there's Abu Dhabi.
Yep, exactly. So we've got 6 races to go. You got them right.
I think then.
Yes, you got them. I'm pretty impressed with that then, Roo. So we've got 6 races to go. A very tight. I mean, there's only about 59 points I think in it between Verstappen and Lando Norris.
52 points. Again,
Helen has joined us. Good to see Helen.
Helen Hobbit. She's tired too.
We have to get him up. Get Roo up this morning. Nice and early.
Max has got 331 points, and Lando Calrissian Norris has got 279.
So there's not much in it, really. Certainly, I do think if Lando can continue his competitive form, but he's got to either win or come second, and he's got to be ahead of Verstappen by a reasonable amount.
Yeah, he needs to maximise, doesn't he? Yeah. Maximise the.
My concern is more Piastri, because at the rate that McLaren are going, they're kind of letting him win everything, or they're kind of not really holding him back. And he is so quick. I mean, he's all credit due. I think he's going to be a real threat to Lando next year. I think he might even be quicker. He's certainly doing it rather well.
They've already got the constructors, haven't they? There's 516 points to 475. McLaren, Mercedes to Red Bull, respectively.
Yeah. Lando's saying, DTR is saying he needs to win. Lando needs to win at least 5 races to have a chance of winning the championship. I think he's got to really try and do that. He's got to insert his dominance. It'll be interesting to see, can the McLaren keep its competitive advantage?
He's backing up by Piastri, because if Piastri can make sure he comes second, that gives him everything he needs without anything stupid like going in front of Lando. And McLaren have been idiotic, I think. It might not, 6 points isn't going to make a difference. Well, it is.
Yeah.
It certainly
well be.
We've seen enough championships in the last 30 years that have been won by 1 or 2 points. Look at Kimi Räikkönen's World Championship. 1 point.
Yeah. No, it's quite a thing. But I hope it goes down to the wire, because I think it's great to see a comeback. And I think if Lando can win races, it's great for him. But it's good for the sport, because it means more people will watch it. And I think we have had some quite good races over the second half of the season. The first half was just Max winning everything, but quite quickly that changed. So it's nice to see there is proper competition. And of course, Lewis has won races. George Russell's won races. The Ferraris have both won races.
It's been a weird season with that, hasn't it? Because we're so used to the past few years, the Red Bull being completely dominant. And I'm not one of these people that has a problem with that kind of thing. If a team is doing well, they're doing well. This whole idea of handicapping a team because they're good at what they do, it's the most ridiculous kind of, what do they call it? Equity? The idiots in California?
Yeah, who want
Oh,
everything
we
the
want
same.
everyone to be the same. Right, let's go racing. Oh, there's no racing. Let's bring out the safety car. Did you actually see? They put out a statement. That idiot from Saudi Arabia has put out a statement saying we've not had a safety car in 9 races. It's almost like someone noticed that the whole world was going, stop messing with the
Exactly.
races
You
on
can't mess with the race.
purpose.
You got to make it real. I just found out that my mum is watching. Oh, mother! If you're watching, I
Hello,
hope
my
you're
mum.
enjoying the show. That this is Rue, my good friend Rue, who's been doing commentary and co-hosting with me for the last 5 years on podcasting and more.
As I
And
said,
I'll put in a quick advert just now because tonight we have 2 of the stars of SimStaff. We have Max and we have Jack. Now Max does SimStaff. He does all the big events, organizes amazing Formula One events for big teams, big, even like Williams and others, really proper simulator events. And Jack is one of the chief new stars of SimRig support. So if you've got a problem with your rig and you're trying to get it working or your software's not working, they can either talk to you over the phone or they can come out and visit you and they can help to fix your SimRig. And they are very, very good. And yes, we're going to be interviewing them tonight live at 8:15 tonight. It will be on YouTube. I'll try and do it on Instagram as well.
No. I was just trying to think where you can find SimStaff, and I don't know why I said Instagram. You put
they
that
do a lot
word
of
in my
videos
head.
on Instagram.
I meant LinkedIn. They've got a LinkedIn page.
Yes, LinkedIn page as well.
So
but SimStaff,
need them, pay them.
Yep, SimStaff and SimRig support are excellent, and they've been friends of the show for many, many years through Josh Martin. So he'll be, the 2, Max and Jack, will be on the show tonight at 8:15. So make sure you don't miss that one. So who do you think it's going to come down to? Do you think if Verstappen's car is back on pace, that he's got a chance of winning?
I don't think it's going to be back on pace. I mean, it's got its strengths and all this kind of stuff, but this is what I was sort of started to say. That Red Bull has, it's not just that they've dropped the ball, they're imploding. The power struggles that have gone on, the accusations, whatever his name, Dr. Helmut Marko, the former advisor to the Chancellor of the Third Reich, or whatever the hell because he comes across as something like that.
He really I don't think you'd mess with him, certainly.
Oh, well, I think he has phone numbers, you know what I mean? He's like, it's like, don't get rid of Perez because the drug cartels will have you. It's the same thing. And like you say, the Mercedes, they looked like they'd got their car sorted out, or it was more a case of, what was it, that they understood the car so they could set it up properly.
Yeah.
And that made a big difference. And then that stopped being a big difference. And the only team that seems to have consistently developed their car and got it sorted is McLaren.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. It's just fantastic that they've somehow managed to sort of
out of the blue,
got the car.
Just suddenly, They were kind of kept quiet. And then they showed signs of possibilities. But now from Miami onwards, when Lando won in Miami, that was that turnaround race where he'd been second and he'd been showing that they were getting stronger. But from Miami, after winning that race, then it was all on.
And there are obviously there's tracks where that car is strong, even it's better tracks for it, but it's as good as anything else on every track. And on the tracks that it's strong on, it's much better. So and they've got a strong set of drivers there. It's just, can the team remember how to do tactics, and can they remember how to be a winning team instead of a team that just wins? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a mentality about, right, we need to. Why did Ross Brawn? How did Ross Brawn manage and Jean Todt manage to get Ferrari so dominant? And it wasn't just that they had a fast car, because McLaren also had a fast car and they were fighting them.
Yeah.
They used to win with a mindset of, we have to do what we need to win, and it's not just about the physical nature of the car, is it? That their tactics were superb. Whereas McLaren today, with Ron Dennis, sometimes they used to do some really stupid things and then wonder why Schumacher had won in a slower car.
That was it. And I remember a few Williams issues as well, because when Mansell was coming up in '91 in Portugal, it was, and he was due his pit stop, and James Hunt notoriously said they don't need to. They can take their time. They don't need to rush, because if he's in the lead, and of course they came out, did the pit stop. and they didn't put the wheel on properly, and it came off as he was going out, and he ruined that was his race over because he was black flag because they weren't allowed to push him out the pit lane. So it's the pressure of that. But as you say, there's teams that win, and then there's teams that really win, aren't they? That actually are in a position to do it properly.
And Red Bull have sort of stopped doing that. Even their pit stops are starting to mess up. They used to be absolutely spot on with their pit stops, didn't they? And they're getting worse again. It's like the pressure's telling on them, and they're losing their people. They're losing all their people to other teams. So something's going on in that team.
I think there was allegations of Christian Horner, wasn't there? I think that has unsettled a lot of people. And when you start to get that in a such a competitive outlet, I think people start to question, right, what are they actually working here for? Do they?
And the cracks are showing. Well, we don't know what's going on in the background. Like I say, that Helmut Marko and Christian Horner have been fighting each other for control and dominance, and also since what's his name? The guy that owned Red Bull. The owner, he died.
Oh yes. Oh,
I've forgotten his name.
Because there are one or two who are all in charge. I'm not sure.
And anyway, there's a board now instead of like a single man with a vision.
Yeah.
And he obviously supported Horner.
Yeah.
And had Helmut Marko as his sort of inside man. Now there's this whole power struggle going on. Well, of course, that's a horrible place to work with that kind of stuff going on above you when you haven't got a decent leadership. So Adrian Newey is gone. He's going to Aston Martin. They've got a couple of other high up people going to other teams. Yeah.
There were also rumours saying that with this new 2026 car, they reckon it might not be fast enough. Because they've taken a lot off the engine, they reckon that the speeds will drop quite a bit. Because so it's going to be interesting to see. I'll need to research more as to what that engine is like and what they think the performance is going to be like.
They're trying to get it lighter because they've made the cars heavier and heavier and heavier, like normal cars. Ian, just to mention, Ian's saying he's a bit worried. He said it's not a current story, but he's just saying he's worried that McLaren might have gone over the cost cap. He's I've got a bad
feeling that's like Star Wars. Yes. Well, of course, the cost caps come in. Plus, I was been reading from the Autosport website as well that they were going to try and do a rookie Grand Prix. So all the drivers that were, and that was going to be in Abu Dhabi just after the testing session. Actually, it could have been quite fun if there was accidents and spectacular. If it was the good old days when they got drivers in who were waiting on the list. Yes, it would be a spectacular bits for the parts department to keep them busy. They'd have to put the cost cap up a bit to be able to pay for it. But it would be quite fun. But that's similarly been scrapped.
They need to get the president in one of them if they want to guarantee it crashing.
Yeah, he crashed. I saw that. I saw that video.
Bang, boom! He was going in a straight line for.
Yeah, he changed up and he spun off into the wall. I nearly took out the NASCAR with him.
God, it's just not.
I don't think Bernie Ecclestone would have done that somehow.
No.
I don't think. I don't think. Seemingly he's not allowed back. He's not allowed anywhere near the F1 pits now, or F1,
really?
Because of all the issues that they seemingly had. So he's not allowed anywhere near the. Although I'm sure he could probably get in. But I'd love to see him try. Actually, it'd just be far more interesting.
Another one. He's got a little black book somewhere, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Okay. Money's in a Swiss bank account.
So, Roo, if there was a Grand Prix out of the 6 remaining that you could go and see live, what would it be?
Texas, the next one.
Texas.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Maybe
Las Vegas, if I could watch it from a balcony of a very expensive hotel.
Because I think, I have to say, I love Abu Dhabi. I love the fact that they start in the sunset and then it finishes in the evening. And I always remember watching it back in 2013, the last era of the V8s, and they were all coming up on the grid. Somebody had taken a video camera of it, video on their own handheld, and they saw them line up on the grid. And then the engines went up. You could hear the revs go up, and then it dropped, and off they all went, and it just looked phenomenal. And I think it's got really good facilities. Abu Dhabi's got like top class facilities, and I quite like now that they've changed that track. So they've got the proper hairpin.
Doesn't it go underneath the hotel?
Yes, at the end, the complex at the end, it goes under the hotel.
Yeah, I have quite fancied going there again. It'd be nice to be in that hotel, but I think you have to have a couple of quid.
Well, you can stay in that hotel quite cheaply. Obviously, not for the Grand Prix weekend, but you can actually go and stay in that hotel all year round. You know, it's open all year round, and you can actually look at the. I mean, I think it'd be amazing. I know that I've got friends who are in Abu Dhabi, and they use the track for cycling. I think on a Tuesday night they open it up and people come and cycle around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they do.
I know Chris Harris took the McLaren P1 around it, and it was one of the best videos I've ever seen.
Yeah.
We just had Clarkson taking it around the wet. Spa, and it was being 900 and whatever it is, 920 odd horsepower rear-wheel drive monster with flames coming out the back, drifting at the corner at the top. You know, famous corner at the top that I call the corner at the top because it's at the top of a hill, which is Radion. Not anywhere else, and it's like, oh my god, what's he doing? So he just had that, and then on YouTube. Chris Harris, way before he was doing anything else, he took it around, and it was great because I was in heaven because he spent 20 minutes talking to the engineer.
Yeah.
He then drove it around the town,
and
this thing's going blah, 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 at 10 mile an hour. I'm thinking that twin turbo V8 sounds very nice.
Yeah.
and then he sort of blips the throttle and this thing goes, he goes, well, I can't go any quicker than that. And then he does U-turn and then he takes it round the track.
Yeah.
Holy cow, that thing could move.
Yeah.
It's not often you can see on the telly or on your computer the visceral sense of speed, you know?
Yeah.
And this thing was just going, so that was, and it really showed off how good that car is. That's why it's on my list. F1, P1, GMA T33, a couple of others. You know, in my special garage when I'm rich enough to stay at that hotel. And the big one in Singapore, though I do not want to be in the swimming pool looking down because my ghoulies go funny with heights. I mean, literally, on telly. When they have the thing, it's like, oh, no. Don't like it. But yeah.
Oh, wow.
What are people saying?
Oh, DTR is saying that Fraser, my good old friend from school, has joined us. And also, DTR said that the new LaFerrari is launching today. That'll be on YouTube, I imagine. They'll stream that out. That'll be quite a machine. It's going to be interesting. I have to say, I can't picture Lewis Hamilton in a Ferrari suit. It doesn't look. I think it just doesn't. It's never been done.
What's going to happen there?
It's quite interesting, isn't it? But I think it'll go. I think the car is. I think Ferrari need direction. And actually, if they get a good driver like they had with Schumacher and get good people around them, then they can get. They might have a better chance of.
Is Lewis that guy though? Because Schumacher had a really good technical knowledge and he had a brain, whereas we all know Lewis Hamilton's as thick as two short planks. He really is. He's fast. Don't get me wrong. He might be faster than Schumacher was, but Schumacher was. He was a tactical genius as much as anything else, you know? It's like Ross Brawn said. Ross Brawn came up with these amazing plans and could figure out, him and his team could figure out what to do with tactics, right? But then he would get on the phone, Michael, we need 5 laps at this time. And he would give him 5 laps at that time, boom, 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 and they come out in the lead. Or they win.
Yeah.
Lewis keeps making mistakes. Schumacher didn't make mistakes.
Yeah.
He was him and Verstappen have that in common. They both push the boundaries of what they're allowed to get away with.
Yeah.
And they don't make mistakes. But Verstappen, I think, is quicker than Schumacher was, if that makes any sense. He is actually naturally quicker than Schumacher, and Schumacher was quick. Let's not mess about.
Yeah.
Imagine the speed of Hakkinen, but with the sort of the lack of mistakes and the attitude of Schumacher, and you've got Verstappen.
Yeah. And he's been around a while. You forget how long he's been around. Was it 2015 or 2016 when he first came?
17 when he first came. He didn't even have a driver's license.
Yeah. And we all kind of knew straight away that he was good. He was so much better than his father. He was a genuine talent there. I think So it's because Jos Verstappen was very good for having fiery accidents. You know that
he was a fiery accident. He was a bit of a.
Sadly,
he reminds me of K-Mag, in his sort of like. He's a bit.
Actually, I wanted to talk about him. I like Kevin Magnussen, but part of the fact of because I met him when Jonathan was doing his racing license at Silverstone.
They got the relations license together, didn't they?
Yeah, they were in two different groups, but they were there on the same day. And I thought, Kevin Magnussen has actually punched well above his weight. He's never really he didn't drive for McLaren for a short time, didn't he, for about a year. But I think was it earlier on? Do you not have a run in with McLaren, or it was kind of high?
Possibly, yeah, a while ago.
It was a while, but he is stuck in there. He's come back, and I think it's a pity that he's going now. I think he's still got life in him left. When you think how many times Hulkenberg has come back, and is doing quite well now.
Another disappointment. Oh, he's going to be the next Schumacher, and then he qualified on pole in the wet in the Williams, and then it was never.
Yeah, he crashed into Hamilton that day at Brazil, wasn't it? He had a coming together, and that took them out because Hamilton was due to win that. That would have helped him a lot. But no, I like Kevin Magnussen. I think he's got it's a pity that they couldn't get another seat there. DTR is saying that Danny is going to go to NASCAR. Yeah, I think that would be his thing. He's still got plenty of life left in him. I think for doing
what
races.
Happened there? I still don't understand what the hell happened there.
I think he had a lot of talent and he was good, but I think he just lost. His will for I think being in other teams that were never quite there, or maybe just wasn't. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't fit enough to do it. I'm not sure. I would like
the new cars drive so differently, don't they?
Yeah.
It even took Lewis a while to sort of get used to them, didn't it?
Yeah.
So
we'll have to see. But we've got some great. I mean, I have to say that the Mexico race is always good. The Texas race is usually a good one because you've got that long straight and two hairpins, so it's always quite a good venue for overtaking. Brazil, who can forget Brazil? Brazil's a classic. Interlagos is a great one. I really hope they're simply making a new track to replace Interlagos quite soon, but I don't know if it's going to be as good as Interlagos because even though the Brazilian GP is so short, the track's literally about a minute and 5 seconds or something, aren't they, when they do qualifying, or it's some ridiculously low time. It just brings so much racing because again, a good layout, lots of hairpins, lots of overtaking, and a great crowd, a great audience.
Wasn't designed by Herman Tilke,
like
all the others. Oh look, another turn 8. Oh okay. Oh look, another hairpin. Okay.
Oh, my mother is saying good fun. She's enjoying it. That's good. That's I'm pleased you are. That otherwise if you weren't happy, I'd be in big trouble. So it's I'll be getting a phone call later on. But no, the Brazilian race is good. Qatar it's a good track. It's quite a fun track. It's only been going a couple of years. So I've not seen as many races from there. But then we've got Vegas. Now, Vegas was a great race last year.
I haven't watched Vegas at all.
You missed a good race last year, actually.
The first year I listened to it on Radio 5 Live and just found that year was the last time I ever bothered because they were so annoying. Jolyon Palmer was so annoying. That idiot, whatever his name is, I keep forgetting his name, Nicholson.
Oh,
he does Formula E as well. I think he's gone.
Yeah. Colin, my good friend Colin, is watching from the Tents of Man. Good to see you, Colin. I hope you're well. He's always been a fan, and we've interviewed him before on the show. DDR says, I miss Vegas. I fell asleep. But yeah, no, actually, this last year's race was actually really good. So it's a good track. Again, the long straights and nice curves. I quite like it. And of course, see, that's got the charisma of Vegas, isn't it? Of all the buildings, all the kind of famous history from it.
The first year, there was all these people being told that they were having their entire lives ruined because they lived there by the fact that the whole town had been taken over by this track. So they were trying, and the people were saying that to get from one side of the track to your hotel took them like 3 hours because you couldn't go like that. You had to go security guards and police everywhere stopping people going places. So there was a lot of bad feeling in Vegas itself. But yeah, I had heard that last year was a good race.
I
don't know.
Start time 4 a.m. Yeah, because they're so far behind us, aren't they? They're about 9 hours behind the UK and Europe. So
upon a time, I used to get up and watch these things live.
Yeah. Australia, we'd always get up live for. Yeah. I normally do it for Australia. I used to always do it when it was Adelaide. We'd up it in the early hours of the morning for Adelaide.
I'm not going to get up early in the morning to watch a close-up of a wheel nut, which is what they seem to be, like, no, you can see Roo, that kind of nonsense. But I'd have 5 cameras and you'd get of my forehead.
Yeah.
There might be brilliant races, but I don't get to see them even if I'm watching it. Because all you see is like, oh, look, shaky head cam. Oh, that's a really cool shot, that is. Yeah, but I can't see anything. Why
is it
bother?
at Texas? One of the races they have, it might be Texas, where they have a camera on the pit lane and it goes right the way along the pit lane. Or it was one of these ones where it goes and you can see some really good shots.
I don't know about Texas, but I remember where they first did it and it was Silverstone.
No, yes, there was that. I think they've still got that. It's on the old Grand Prix.
TV. Yeah. On a big, and there's another one. It may actually be Texas where it's above the track. Yeah, because isn't Texas where they've got that funny looking? It looks like a Helter Skelter, but isn't.
It's a tower. Yeah, they've got a tower at the top. Yeah.
They've got one of those things, and it you can see the helicopter.
It follows them into the first corner. It's brilliant.
Like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But you can see what's going on with that one.
Yeah.
Because it's a nice wide shot.
Yeah.
It's when they're sort of like, they follow the cars and it's very close. You get no perspective and you can't tell what they're doing. That makes no sense. I think, personally, the coolest thing I like about those ones on these cables is when you get the helicopter shot and you see it going back.
Oh, yeah.
Not the actual shot from it, but you see it go, woo, back.
Yeah.
But now they've got like drones and all this kind of stuff as well that can follow this. Because Ben Collins, he uses it on his channel. And they have someone with like a controller and it just flips so that you want to throw up. And again, it's like, you're kind of missing the point of a camera. Because, fair enough, you can follow the car. But following the car doing this...
Yeah.
I don't want to do skydiving. I want to watch the car. Thank you. They're all nuts.
It goes back to, I remember waking up to live coverage of the Australian Grand Prix with Murray Walker and James Hunt, and I'm sure it was a wet race. It must have been in the really early 90s. And that's what you woke up to. It was the live coverage started with the rain coming down, and then you get this monologue by Murray Walker and James Hunt. And it just gave you it was the enthusiasm, and it got you ready for what you knew was going to be a very historic race. And they always were at that time. Because of course, you had it in '94 when it was Schumacher and Damon Hill. When that was a great race, and that was the one where was it not Mansell that got pole? I think he got pole position in '94, and he went on to win that race. He came back to replace Senna.
He was really fast as well.
Oh yeah, well he won. He finally won.
He couldn't sit in the car properly. He couldn't fit in the car, or there's something about Mansell and.
He was on pole
arguments,
and he had a terrible start, and both Schumacher and Hill went ahead of him. And Schumacher, I think, took the lead. And then, of course, they had that infamous crash a number of laps into the race. And that was it done. And then Mansell went on to win the race. Yeah. It was quite a thing. But no, it's going to be exciting. I'm hoping that by the end of the season we'll have. I hope Lando can push Verstappen, if not even just tip it and get the title. I think that would be a great way to finish the year for him. And I think he does. I think for the work he's done, it would be great. It would do a lot for Formula One if Lando won. Not that I take anything away from Verstappen, and I think he's got that to lose in effect. So he's got to make sure that he's up in the high positions to be able to complete the
and
season.
He's been doing that. Even though Lando's been clawing into his lead, Verstappen has been making the best of the car that he's got. He's been, frankly, he shouldn't be getting as high up in the race as he is. He's out driving that car. Like I say, I don't really like him, but you've got to respect that ability. He is.
Yeah, I like
Piastri
that he's
might give him a run for his money.
I like that Verstappen is frank and says what he thinks, which is refreshing. And I do think he's got enormous skill, but I do think he will go over the line where other drivers would be more kind of actual gentlemanly drivers. And we'll think about that. But
never ever take responsibility for it. He is a proper top F1 driver. Never his fault.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody else could be driving in a straight line, and he'll go into him and go, "He moved over into me."
Yeah.
No, but he didn't, though, did he? Yeah. So it's
Now I would like to. Sorry, carry on.
No.
On our, because we continually dislike the editing of F1, the way that they jump, you barely get a second of a frame, or you're looking at one shot and a second later it changes to something else. I know that the race is moving all the time, but it is kind of difficult to keep your eye on what's actually going on when it's all constantly
no idea what's happening,
jumping up and down, and also going round and round upside down on a pit stop, which really is.
Oh,
really that was really annoying. That was
just.
But shall I try and play? See, if this works. This will be fun if it does work.
Oh, this is
I did a game
yes.
on my F1 2024, which I do recommend. I really enjoy it, even just for a bit of fun. If you just want total escapism and you just want to have a laugh playing a racing game, it's quite easy to drive the cars. It's a little bit like an arcade, that you can pretty much steer at any speed. As long as you get the line right, you can hold huge speed through the corners, and it is quite fun. We'll put on this video file and see if it works. Here we are now. Oh, is it on this one? Or no, it should be on. Hang on, 2 seconds. I will find this and we will get it sorted.
F2 looks good, says Ian. F2, as in. What do you mean?
That will be
F2. Formula 2, or is that what you mean?
Right, I'll try this one. See what you think of this.
Oh, yeah, okay.
There we go. Grass there, as you can see me coming through, overtaking. But look! I think that looks almost as good as it does on TV.
This is what I like best about it.
If you've got a rubbish TV, it definitely does.
Well, in terms of, but it's the detail.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean that in a sort of like, oh, what are you talking about? I meant
accurate.
If you haven't got HD, coming over your Channel 4 or whatever.
Helmet design to
the
wheels.
Because if you've got like normal
it's great fun
quality TV, that is much better.
You kind of do the
Yeah.
back.
I know there's a few little glitches here and there, but overall, they have actually captured what it looks like.
Very smooth.
Yeah, which is for a replay. It's brilliant. And you can create your own races. You can do any race you want, be any driver you want, and then you can set it up, and then you can watch the replay. And and some of the overtakes are quite good. The AI doesn't do that many overtakes, but watch one coming, because I'm going to hopefully overtake a car soon, and it's just here. Here we come. Watch this. Oh, you wouldn't normally get an overtake into the
wait a minute. This is Imola.
Imola, yeah.
I recognise that corner. That's a very difficult corner to get correct, to get right.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kelvin Fagan has joined. Good to see you, Kelvin. Kelvin is a great MG fan. And there's lots of amazing history and photographs of MGs. In various race trim and touring cars and things like that.
Which, unfortunately, Morris garages now exist in China.
I
think and they're electric. It's like, okay.
So there we are. So yeah, but even all the details like
George Straight 6 going to Le Mans, is it? Back in the day.
Second place now.
Sorry, I'm just crying.
There we go. Ow. It's skipping a wee bit, but no, I really enjoyed it. I'm going to do a video on it because I do enjoy the F1. Just making fun races and then trying to get shorts from them, see who can come up with the best short that we've got, and see how it goes from there. But so there I am. Look, I'm about to overtake Piastri. I'm right there in his slipstream.
Get him, Hugh.
There we go. Oh, I'm on the grass.
Oh,
and I come back in there.
Same corner. It's the same corner.
Yeah. And then off into the lead.
You like that corner? I wish I knew what it was called. I knew what it was called once.
Eventually pull away.
But it's quite good. I did enjoy it actually. It was quite fun. I'll get rid of that one. There we go. But so I think if you've got F1 2024, see if you can make your own race and make your own overtakes and see who can come up with the best overtake. It's quite a lot of fun because you can do all these bits and make yourself look like you're a professional driver doing overtakes that are better than in the real races. But what do you think then? Going in to close our show tonight or this morning, What do you think is going to happen on Saturday? Who do you think is going to be taking the checkered flag?
I mean, I would imagine the McLaren's pretty good there.
Yeah.
I think it's a track that's because you need quite a bit of downforce, high speed corners, all that kind of stuff, and that the McLaren is quite well balanced, isn't it, for that kind of thing?
Yeah.
It'd be nice to think that Lando's going to do it with Piastri backing him up, but I've got a nasty feeling Piastri's going to win, and McLaren are going to let him. He's probably going to get nerfed. Lando's probably going to get nerfed off in the first corner by his teammate or something stupid like that. So I'll say Piastri.
Yeah.
Unless McLaren wakes up.
Aye. Oh, that's the
And
thing.
Ferrari.
Well, tonight, remember, we'll be back with a live stream.
Sign.
We'll be back with a live stream for our interviews with Jack and Max from SimStaff at 8:15. So please make sure you join us for that. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching, for commenting. And if you're on the podcast, thank you very much for listening as well. And leave us a comment to let you know what you think of the show and what you think of Andrew and I. Are we up to the task, or do we need to work a lot harder?
If you could say anything about me, I'm not.
Yeah. We comment on our own podcast because nobody else will. So hopefully we can comment on our podcast on Podbean. So we'll have to give you a prize draw just so that somebody can make a comment. But
that scruff bag needs a shave. Yeah.
Well, it's been great to see you all. Have a wonderful week. We will see you tonight with Max and Jack at 8:15. But thanks, Andrew. Stay on the line. And to everybody else, drive fast, but drive your bus even faster. Bye just now.
Bye-bye.